Hello everyone. Good afternoon. I hope you can see the screen. Can you see the screen?
Yes,
Please
ma'am.
give me a confirmation. Okay, thank you. So now we are going to be looking at
Good afternoon, ma'am.
good afternoon. How are you all? All well?
Fine, ma'am.
Okay, nice. Nice to hear some smiling voices that I can hear and smiling people around me. All right. Let's get started with the grammar section that we have for your syllabus. And firstly, I want to check with you that you must have received the worksheets. Have you tried to open those worksheets and see for yourself? Have you seen the worksheets?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So please look at the worksheets, try to solve those worksheets, and I'll share the book Raymond and Murphy as well with you, from which we are doing these grammar sections in the PDF format today itself. It should help you. Okay. Right? So let's move further. We've already learned a little bit about auxiliary verbs. Today we are going to look at again some more auxiliary verbs, active, passive voice, and reported speech. Okay, which is direct and indirect speech. So chapter 40 to 48 we are going to cover today. And if you look at it, it is talking about use of if I had known, if I wish I had known, use of wish, active, passive. And within active passive, it is only is done and was done that we are going to be looking at. Okay. Now, we have something done in chapter 46 and reported speech in chapter 47 and 48 that we are going to cover. Okay. So let's move further. Now, when we talk about use of if I had known, I wish I had known. This is again that same feeling that you have about something that you wanted to do desperately, or something that you had desired, but or like how you have a wish that you could have improved something. So when I talk about I had known, had is used in which tense? Can anybody quickly tell me? Good afternoon, Charan. Can you tell me had is used in which tense?
Present perfect continuous.
Perfect is fine, but in which tense? Present, past, or future? What about the chart that you have? I asked you to put a chart on your table. Have you been able to put the chart? Manav has given the correct answer. It is past tense where we use had, and it is in past perfect. In present perfect tense, we use has and have. Okay. So had is used in the past perfect tense. So it is definitely indicating some action that has happened in past. Right? Now we are talking about if I had known it was going to rain today, I would have carried umbrella with me, which means that because you did not carry an umbrella, you were probably drenched in water. You had to be wet in the water, in the rain. But if it was known to you, you would have carried umbrella together. Or maybe you are stuck at some place where you are waiting for the rain to stop, and you're just wishing that if in case it was known to you, you could have predicted weather, you would have seen the weather forecast maybe, then you would have been better prepared. Okay, let's look at the next sentence. Can somebody read the next sentence for me on your
I
screen?
wish
Can you read it?
I wish I had known about that amazing sale at the store yesterday. I would have saved a lot of money on the things I need.
Yes. So now do you see that there is a wish, that how there is a sale, and if the person would have known, the money would have been saved. Now it is also again something wherein you showcase your regret. You are unable, and now you can't do anything about this situation. You can only think of it that how it could have helped you in the situation. Things would have been a much better. So with the regret, you're also showcasing a wish that, I wish I had known about it. Okay. Okay, let's move further. Next sentence.
If I had known how challenging the exam would be, I would have studied harder in advance.
Very good. So, sometimes we take everything so lightly. So it's also talking about what ifs जो होते हैं ना, I wish I had known जो होते हैं, they are life lessons for us for eventual situations. Okay. Next thing.
I wish I had
Known about your birthday.
known about your birthday party last week. I would have brought a special gift for you.
Yeah. Now I want you to pay attention and finally track down the words that tell you the sentence is in past tense. Do you see in this last sentence that was spoken, sentence number 4, you have last week mentioned there? Okay. So do you see there are other things as well, other words last week, today, okay, or some other terms that will be there like yesterday. These terms that will reflect that you have some of these options that are there in past tense as well for you. Okay. So keep them in mind while you are preparing yourself for I had known, I wish I had known. Okay. So I wish I could travel back in time to correct the mistakes I made in past. She wishes for more opportunities to showcase her artistic talents to the world. I wish I had the power. She wishes for more opportunities. Now she wishes. Now when you have wishes, it is in present tense. Now look at this sentence. Is it talking about a wish?
Yes, ma'am.
That is in future tense or is in present tense?
Present.
It's the wish in present tense. This wish is in present tense, but if in case you look at it, it's talking about the future reference that you can draw. To showcase her talent is something that she possesses right now, but she wants those opportunities to be paving way for her in future. Okay, so just keep a track of time frame, future, past, present very clearly. Okay. Now, which one is the next sentence? Can you read that out and tell me the tense about it? I wish I had the power to grant wishes to those in need. It's again another wish, but in past tense now. And the impact of that wish would be in future for certain people, but it is again something that is an unfulfilled desire. Okay. Look at the next sentence.
He wishes he could
He
be
wishes he
wish.
could.
Yeah. Yashpreet, you continue. We'll ask the next sentence will be there for Preet.
He wishes he could be with his family during the holidays, but work commitments keep him away.
Okay. Now, what is he wishing? This is in present tense, past tense.
Present.
Okay. Right. I wish you a happy and prosperous new year filled with joy and success. Tell me. Present tense. Right. Manav, thank you. And that was very quick of you. Other people should also try and respond. Okay. So we are done with mostly this, that how we use wish and had in different time zones to represent different kind of times. Now we are moving towards active and passive voice. Now, let me firstly tell you that what do we mean by active voice and passive voice? Usually, the news that is there is written in active voice. Okay. Now, what happens is in a sentence, usually what is happening is what the subject is doing is what makes your sentence. Say, for example, Ram killed Ravan. So, Ram is somebody who is doing the action. Ram is the subject because he's doing that action of killing Ravan. While in the passive voice, if you look at it, it is some action that has happened to Ravan, something that has happened that focuses on the action and not on the doer. So remember, doer who does what is more important as a subject in active voice. But in the passive voice, it is Ravan was killed by Ram. Okay. So do you see how the subject becomes the object and the object becomes the subject in the next sentence? Do you remember the sentence structures in tenses? Okay. Right. So I'm moving ahead with that. And now you have all the tenses very clearly outlined for you. We are going to look at, and my request is that I will ask students to solve this and read that out so that I understand that how many of you are getting it. So I'll read out the first sentence and then we give it to Preet. Okay, Preet, I'll begin with you. Now look at the present simple tense in passive. Okay, active sentences. Somebody cleans this room every day. Okay. So cleans tells you that this is a sentence which is an everyday habit, and that is why it is written with simple present tense. Yashpreet, please mute your mic. Now passive sentence, when we are looking at passive sentence, this room will become your subject because some action has to be done to the object. So this room, who is a subject now, this room is cleaned every day, and every day is again a word that tells you about the simple present tense. Okay. So do you see the difference now? Cleans is converted into is cleaned. Okay. So that is a change that you find from simple present tense. You have the helping verb is coming up, and the second form of verb cleaned is used when you are converting a sentence from simple present tense to passive voice. Clear? Now let's look at the past simple tense. Can somebody read out?
Somebody cleaned his room yesterday.
Somebody
Yeah. Now look at it. What are the verb forms that are there on the screen? Was and were plus cleaned or seen. So this room was cleaned yesterday. Was and were, that is the structure that is utilized here in past tense. Present perfect tense, again, look at the grammar. You look at the auxiliary verbs of have and has plus done that is used. Now in the passive voice, you have and has plus done, etc. That are used here. So the room looks nice. Somebody has cleaned it. The room looks nice. It has been cleaned. Has been cleaned. Okay. Now then past perfect tense, had plus done plus whatever is there. So the room looked nice. Somebody had cleaned it. And in passive sentence, it will become the room looked nice. It had been cleaned. Do you see that? How the subject and object are changing and how the verb forms are changing from one tense to another. Now present continuous sentence that is there, somebody is cleaning the room at the moment. So the room is being cleaned at the moment. And in past continuous tense, you have was, were plus doing. So somebody was cleaning the room when I arrived. Was, were plus being done. The room was being cleaned when I arrived. Okay. Do you see that? Okay. So remember, just like the tenses chart, you will have to remember these grammar forms that are there. If you remember this chart of how helping verbs will be changing, because most of the time you will have main verb will be converted into past tense. Okay. So next that we have is, okay, so when to use passive voice? In general, passive voice is less direct than active voice. So whenever you're writing in newspaper, writing in some other places, it is suggested that you use active voice. In conversation, it's easy for you to understand, comprehend when you are using active voice, but passive voice is used when you do not know or you don't want to reveal who is the doer of the action. When you don't want to emphasize on the receiver's action, that is when you want to focus on receiver's action more than the doer. Okay. Now let's look at some examples that are there. So passive voice is when the first subject is affected by the verb. For example, the ball was thrown by the boy. So passive voice is when the first. Okay. So you have affected as the subject, the ball as a subject, which is getting affected. Okay. Thrown is a verb and boy is a performing subject. I hope that is clear. And in the active voice, when the first subject is performing the verb, so the boy is performing the action. The boy threw the ball. and affected subject is the ball. Do you get to see the difference between the two sentences? And how to tell? An easy way is to add the phrases by zombies after the verb. So if the sentence still makes sense, it is passive. If the sentence makes no sense, it is active. Okay, so the ball was thrown by zombies makes sense, so it is passive. The boy threw by zombies makes no sense, so it is active. Okay, the boy threw the ball makes sense, but the boy threw by zombies is not making any sense. So in a passive sentence, if it was done by so and so person, whenever you can use by so and so thing, you will know that this is a sentence that is in passive voice. So in your exams, you might get some sentences where you will have to identify whether the sentence is in active voice or passive voice, if and to convert the voice. Just to mention that, change the voice of the sentence. So when such questions will be there, you will have to convert active sentences into passive sentences into active voice. Now, this is where you have some more examples on the screen. Can we quickly read out a sample example from present continuous tense?
Once a week, Tom cleans the house.
Once a week, house is cleaned by Tom. Okay, do you see is cleaned converted? Okay, read the next sentence.
Right now, Sarah is
Right now,
writing.
Sarah is writing the letter.
Yeah, right now the letter is being written by Sarah, right? Sam repaired the car was repaired by Sam. Please look at the emphasis that is being paid on the bold letters that are bold words that are there. The salesman was helping gets converted to was being helped, and the customer was being helped by the salesman when thief came into the store. Many tourists have visited the castle. The castle has been visited by many tourists. Okay. Now again, active versus passive voice is very clearly given. I'm giving you examples so that there is none of you who is feeling that we can't do it. Okay. Otherwise, grammar will be probably very intimidating for you. I don't want it to be creating a fear in your hearts. I want you to be able to solve it as a maths problem. Okay. So let's look at the two voices here on the left hand side and on the right hand side with the two colors. You have various sentences. I would like you to look at the sentence number 2,000 in the red. Thousands of tourists view Buckingham Palace every year. Buckingham Palace is viewed by thousands of tourists every year. Do you see how the object and verb have been mentioned and marked there and how they are changing? Then let's look at one more example. The doer of the action is followed by the verb. The doer of the action is preceded by verb. That's the basic difference. Okay. Again, the subject of sentence is doing the action is done upon the subject. Active voice, the receiver of the action is preceded by the verb. There, the receiver of the action is followed by the verb. Meaning is more clear and direct, and hence we say that you should try and write in active voice as much as possible. But meaning can be confusing and indirect in the passive voice. Mostly in the reported speech, in the report writing, you try and end up using passive voice. Okay. So the tone is authoritative and subjective if in case you're using active voice, while the tone is neutral and objective when you are writing in passive voice. Now there is again some sentences that are there on the extreme right side. The salesman was helping the customer when the thief came into the store. The customer was being helped by salesman when thief came into the store. So and so forth. You have two more examples for you to reflect on the screen. I hope you can see them. Okay. Let's move further. Now here is again a list of active voice and passive voice sentences. Can we quickly take up some more examples? Yeah. Any example you can pick up and read out. Just don't repeat the sentences. I want students to try doing this. Anyone, unmute yourself and do that. Read any one sentence.
The
He was
company
delivering the letters.
Mm-hmm.
The
Continue.
letters were being delivered.
Okay. What is happening in the sentence? Present tense remains present tense or it changes to past tense?
It is changed to past.
Only the main verb is changed to past. You get to know that the sentence is present tense by the use of helping verb are. Remember that. So are is
Now,
there.
only the main verb is transferred to
Hmm.
past tense from delivering
Yes.
to delivered.
Yeah. And in the simple past, do you see how were has been added? That is a sentence in past tense, but you know that it is written in passive voice once you know that it is written with were delivered. Okay. Next sentence. Chindapal, please speak.
She will deliver the letters. The letters will be delivered.
Very good. Next sentence.
She is delivering the letters. The letters are being delivered.
So the whole game is how can you mention now if you look at it the letters we are not using is here because the letters are plural and that is why we are using are here. So you have to be very conscious about what is the subject and object change that is happening in the sentences. Clear? Please give me a thumbs up everyone if you are
Yes,
clear.
ma'am.
Okay. And please keep looking at the other examples that that you have. I have shared the presentation as well with you. So you can actually take out time and read each and every sentence here for your clarity's sake. Okay. Now here is an exercise for you. I want you to convert the sentences from active to passive voice. Please write your answers on the screen. The chef prepares delicious meals. Can you write your answers or somebody else who can unmute and answer? First sentence.
Delicious meal are prepared by the chef.
Very good. Are or were? Are.
It
Because
will
it is
be
in present tense,
are.
were will be incorrect. Okay. The sentence is in present tense, were will be incorrect. The gardener will plant new flowers in the garden. New flowers will be planted in the garden by gardener. New flowers in the gardener will be planted by the gardener. That will be correct answer. They will
Right.
they will publish the results tomorrow.
The results will be published tomorrow by them.
Okay. The company awarded her employee of the month.
She was awarded the Employee of the Month by the company.
Correct. Great, Gurpinder. Next example.
The storm destroyed the several houses in the neighborhood.
Hmm.
And the
Several
passive
houses.
What shall we
and
begin with?
the several houses in the
Hmm.
neighborhood were destroyed by the storm.
Very good. Nice. Next sentence.
Not a
The
doubt.
Yeah, somebody else can take it up. Yeah, please go ahead.
When several houses was or were मतलब
It'll be
houses
were. It'll be were because you know the sentence is in. Look at the original sentence. It is in past tense. It's using past form of verb destroyed. Okay, it is using destroyed. Do you see
but
that?
ma'am about was or were several houses are plural now, so we will use were.
हाँ, you will use were because was and were में से past tense में आप plural के साथ में were use करते हो, singular के साथ में was use करते हो. ओके हाँ, वो फर्स्ट जो टेंसेस वाली प्रेजेंटेशन है बेटा, प्लीज उसको आप लोग मतलब रट्टा मार लो अच्छे से, पी जाओ उसे घूट करके, because you will again and again keep coming back to tenses. आज was and were का confusion है वो इसलिए क्योंकि आपको याद रहना चाहिए कि is, am, are. am जो है वो सिर्फ I के साथ है, is जो है वो singular के साथ है. Difficult concept is explained by the teacher to students. Yes, so what else do you need? I'm explaining it to you. If there is something difficult, it is an individual approach. What might be difficult for you might actually not be difficult for another child. So please state out what is the difficult concept you want me to explain. I will be able to do that. Okay. So was verb वाला जो concept है उसमें यही याद रखना है हर verb form के साथ. Now let's go back to the chart and see whether we have followed singular and plural or not. यहाँ आपको स्क्रीन पे दिख रहा है पैसिव में पहले सेंटेंस में रेड कलर के आगे आपको वर्ब फॉर्म दिख रही है एम, इज और आर. सो आई के साथ एम यूज होगा. सिंगुलर जो वर्ड्स हैं ही, शी, इट, उनके साथ इज यूज होगा. एंड आर प्लूरल के साथ होगा दे, देम. ओके, प्लूरल के साथ में. नाउ पास्ट टेंस में इफ यू लुक एट इट वाज एंड वर का जो कॉन्सेप्ट है वाज विद सिंगुलर, वर विद प्लूरल. हैज हैव जो है उसमें भी अगेन डिस्टिंक्शन है. हैज जो है वो सिंगुलर के साथ है, हैव प्लूरल के साथ है. हैड जो होता है वो सिर्फ सिंगुलर प्लूरल में सेम रहता है. ओके, अदरवाइज हैज हैव का डिस्टिंक्शन रहता है सिंगुलर प्लूरल का. अगेन was and were का वही सेम डिस्टिंक्शन है. सो यू गॉट एवरीथिंग नाउ अंडरस्टूड इन टर्म्स ऑफ हाउ सिंगुलर एंड प्लूरल विल बी यूटिलाइज्ड इन द सेंटेंसेस. ओके, next let's move to sixth sentence. The teacher is explaining a difficult concept to the students. Okay, yes. Oh, I didn't know. I'm sorry about it. I think somebody wrote an answer. Kuldeep wrote an answer for it in the chat box. Let me just check it. Kuldeep, you wrote a message, but why can't I see it?
A
Kuldeep,
difficult
please.
concept to the students is being explained by the teacher.
Okay, correct. Okay, Kuldeep, your answer was correct. But I'm sorry. I did not look at the next sentence. I thought
Okay,
maybe
ma'am,
you're
don't worry.
commenting. Okay. The police arrested the suspect. Yes, correct. Preet,
The
that
suspect
your
was
example is
arrested
correct.
by
The
police.
suspect was arrested by police.
The suspect arrested the police. Huh?
The suspect was arrested by the police.
By
Now remember, by is very important in all the passive sentences. Okay? So next sentence, people speak English all around the world.
All around the world, English is spoken by people.
Very good. Now see, here is an example of exercise where you already have it mentioned that this is a sentence which is in active voice. In your exams, you might just say, get an exam where it will be stated, change the voice. So please make sure that you are marking for yourself firstly very carefully which sentence is there in active voice, which sentence is there in passive voice. Easy way to do it is, jitne bhi sentences mein you find by, make sure that you mark it as P, because you already know that that is a passive sentence and you will have to convert it into active voice. Okay, that will save us our time. We'll have to actually practice grammar by spending less time also on it. Okay, let's move to the next sentence. The audience enjoyed the concert. Concert is enjoyed by audience. Do we use is?
The concert was enjoyed by the audience.
Okay. Why do we use was?
Because it is in past tense, enjoyed is there, na? So it represents
Correct.
that the concert
Good.
has happened.
Good. She has written a beautiful poem.
A beautiful poem has been written by him.
Yes, good. Okay. Now we've come to a segment which is known as reported speech. Now, when we talk of reported speech, direct and indirect speech, you must have practiced in your school days as well. There is a simple rule. Correct sentence, Preet. Now, direct speech, if you look at it, now this is another chart that you will have to remember. Look at it. Present simple tense will get converted into past simple, present continuous to past continuous, present perfect to past continuous, past simple to past perfect simple, past continuous to past perfect continuous, past perfect to past perfect. No change. Okay. Now, what is happening? What is reported speech? I said something in the classroom to you. You will go back to your mom and say, my teacher said so and so. But you are simply going to quote my words. Now, one is my teacher said so and so. So there is one way that you are not using quotation mark. You're not repeating exact words. The other is that you are using the quotation marks to say that this was the quotation, this I quote my teacher. Okay. So whenever you are converting these sentences, you have to understand reported speech from direct speech, because when I am talking to you right now in the classroom, I'm using present tense. But if you are going and telling it to the third party, which is a reported speech, it will always be in past tense. Okay, so that way are we sorted that anything that is there in the present tense said anywhere will be converted into past tense. And if I am telling somebody, a very funny way that I can actually give you an example is that "Aao behan chugli kare" sort of a thing is always done in past tense. Okay. Now, when we talk of past, some sentences, some episodes that we want to talk about will be there in past tense. How will then we converting those sentences in the indirect speech? Now, okay, one more thing that I want to bring here is direct speech is with the inverted comma that you see on the left hand side. Reported speech is also known as indirect speech. Don't get confused. We can use both indirect speech and reported speech. Okay. Let's look at first sentence. Can somebody unmute and read the present simple sentence? And please tell me what tells you that this sentence has been converted into past simple tense while removing the quotation marks. First rule is that while removing the quotation marks, you always utilize that. Okay. Sometimes it can be put within the bracket. Sometimes you can use it directly in the sentence. Please tell me.
Ma'am, in the direct sentence, it is want, but in the reported speech, it is wanted.
Correct. Okay. And then there is also he said. He said. That remains same. Okay. Okay. Present continuous tense. Read out the example.
He said Jane is sleeping. It is converted to present. It is converted to past continuous. He said that Jane was sleeping.
Okay. Next sentence. She said, I have bought a new dress. This is present perfect tense. So present perfect gets converted to past, where you have getting converted to had. Okay. Do you see that? Next sentence. Alex said, I finished my homework. Can you read out the next sentence?
Alex
said,
said
I
that
finished my homework.
what
Okay. Next sentence. Will.
she said, I will always love.
Okay.
Said that she would always love Don.
Yeah. So it is in past tense. Bill ki jagah has been converted into would. Right?
Okay, ma'am.
Okay. May gets converted to might, must get converted to had to, have to gets converted to had to. Now these are some other examples. So please pay attention to may, can, will, must, and have to. Can you see the conversion very clearly in the sentences that are there on the screen? Will you remember it?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Let's move further. Now here is again another segment where you have a list of sentences that is there. Do you want to practice right now? Let's look at some sentences, some examples. Give me, read out a sentence that is there in present perfect tense. Present perfect example. She has written 3 letters.
3 letters.
Hmm.
She has written 3 letters for her friend. It is converted to past perfect. She said that she had written 3 letters for her friend.
Hmm. Nice. Next. Next sentence, simple past tense. Simple past tense. Please read out the sentence.
My friend gave me a bar of chocolate. It is converted to past perfect. He said that his friend had given him a bar of chocolate.
Okay. Please give yourself some time to look at the sentences carefully. Read out the examples. Look at the sentence in past perfect. Will, would is also there here. Okay. So we have already had a look at these sentences. Now, let's look at how time and place are utilized in reported speech. Okay. Please look at the table. As you see, now becomes then, today becomes that day. Okay. So let's look at one example. The children are playing outside now. He said that children were playing outside then. Do you see now getting converted to then? Now, this is again another change that you have to keep in mind while you're converting the sentences from active to passive voice. Again, this is something that you'll have to remember in mind while converting the sentences. Sometimes what happens is in the speech, we are able to change the tense, but we forget to change these words that are mentioned here in the table, these are also the words that reflect a matter of time that is there. So whenever you're talking about time frame, obviously when a sentence that was said in simple present tense, it will have to get converted into some other time zone, because like here will be converted to there, this will be converted to that, tomorrow will be converted to the following day or the next day, next week will be converted to the following week, the next week or the week after. Yesterday will be converted to the day before, last week will be converted to the previous week, ago will be converted to before, tonight will be converted to that night. Am I clear? Please give me thumbs up. Am I clear with the conversion?
Yes.
Nice. Okay. So you have all these sentences for you to look at and practice further. And again, some more examples with the verb tense that is there in the indirect speech. How the verbs that are marked very clearly: am, loved, have been, will help, must pay, can, may, should, and how are they getting converted. Once you remember and practice through these, you will have so many examples already. See, again, now, then, moment, today, that day, all these examples that are laid out for you is primarily so that you could actually understand the concept. Okay. Can you see the screen and give yourself a minute to look at the examples carefully?
Yes, ma'am.
Tom is here. Tom is there.
Okay.
It can do much
So
better.
any difficulty for now from here? I think the examples are very clear, because I will have a test for you very soon. Now look at present perfect tense, past experiences, unfinished situations from past. For that also you have some examples. We don't say when. She had an accident. Have you finished yet? I've been promoted recently. Have you seen Peter today? And sometimes we don't use perfect tense for these situations. Okay, just look at that, unfinished situations from past. Okay. Look at the sentences. So next that we have is, I just wanted to say on this juncture that we have finished these segments that are there. And okay, please tell me if you have any doubts. Do you have any doubts?
No, ma'am.
Okay,
No, ma'am.
fine. So you will practice and I'll give you the worksheet. You can start practicing there. Okay,
Okay, ma'am.
fine.
Okay, ma'am.
Thank you so much for attending the class so cautiously. And I'll see you next week. Okay.
Thank you, ma'am. Bye bye.
Thank
Yeah,
you,
say
ma'am.
bye, say
Okay,
bye,
ma'am.
say bye.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye
baby.
bye.
Bye. Bye bye.
Ma'am, your baby is very cute.
Thank you.
So cute.